Hello guys, welcome back again with me. In this video, I will give some presentation and practice about MikroTik. In the last video, I was giving some presentation and practice about bridge. And now I will give some presentation and practice about VPN tunneling. So let's go to the presentation. In the chapter 11, which is VPN tunneling, I will explain and practice about the concept of VPN tunneling, the types of VPN tunneling, and I will practice about LIP, PPTP, L2TP plus IP security, and then PPPoE. So first, the concept of VPN tunneling. A VPN or virtual private network can generally be used when you want a secure way to access the LAN network via the internet using the tunnel concept. So for the example of VPN tunneling are very wide and varied. We can take a simple example when there is a company in Jakarta that wants to connect to its branch in Semarang by being able to access the LAN network it has. So the way it works is by utilizing tunneling is to create a virtual tunnel or interface that can run on the internet. And the types of VPN tunneling, there is LIP, PPTP, and SSTP, L2TP, and OpenVPN. But next, I will configure and practice about LIP, PTP, and L2TP. And first, I will explain about LIP. LIP is Ethernet over IP is a protocol in MikroTik router OS that is useful for building a network tunnel between MikroTik routers over a TCP IP connection. LIP is a MikroTik proprietary protocol support on Linux but must be compiled manually. So to utilize this feature, routers in the head office and routers in the branch office must use MikroTik routers. And to build a tunnel, both the branch office and head office must be connected to the internet. And the LIP tunnel is connects between sites where the site must have the same network. And to configure it, you can go to interface, and then there is interface and add an LIP tunnel. And next I will configure the LIP tunnel in the topology. So first you can open a new topology, then you can add a network, two routers and two client for the sites. So for one site it has one client, and then I will connect the MikroTik one or the sites one to the network, and also in the router one is connect to the router 2 is connect to the network or USB. And I'm using the CloudNet, so the IP that I will get is 10.x.x.x, or it using IP address version 1. And after that you can open the router and then you can log in. The user is admin and the password is blank. And then I'll Control C because I don't want to set the password. And also in the router too, you can log in into the router. The user is admin and the password is blank. And after you open the router, I will set the static IP, so the IP is not will be changed. If I turn off the router MikroTik, sometimes the IP in here is will different. So I will configure the IP static, so the IP in here will not be random, or I mean that just one IP that I will get. So I will configure the static IP. First I will turn off the DHCP client. I will use this command enable disable yes numbers disable numbers 0, and I will check the DHCP, and as you can see it is now is turn off, and I will configure the DHCP the static IP, but before I configure it I will set the routing information so my laptop can access the router in my MikroTik in the Pinet Lab. You can go to command prompt and I will set the IP route, which in this case is add, and then this is the IP network of PinetNut, and you can see in the VMware that in here there is IP address for PinetNut. Is you can type in here the network of the PinetNut, which is this, and then you can add the mask, because this IP is using prefix /24, so the mask is this. And next I will add the gateway. The gateway is the IP that you open the Pinet Lab in the web, which is this IP. And you can click enter. If you see okay, it is now has been configured. Next I will configure in here. I will add an IP address first in here. Address, I will using this IP. Don't forget the prefix. And the interface is Ether1, because the Ether1 is connect to the internet. And then you can enter. You can see in here. And next I will configure the gateway IP in the MikroTik one. I will set IP route add gateway. The gateway IP is the PinetNut IP that in here is 10.0.137.1. I will type it in here. And you can click enter, and you can see it in here. Now it has been configured, and I will set the DNS server so the MikroTik one or the site center can ping to the domain. So to configure it, you can go to IP and then DNS set server. I'm using the IP of the Google, and now you can try to ping to the Google via IP or via domain. And as you can see, it is successful. I will try via domain.com, and as you can see, it is also successful. Oh yeah, I forget to configure the hostname in here. I will set the hostname for the router 1 with router center. You can go to system and identity, set name. I will use router center, and as you can see, it is now has been changed, and you can change it in here too. Air center and save. And also I will set the hostname in the MikroTik too. Close it in here. I will set the hostname in the MikroTik 2 with router branch system identity set name router branch, and I will set the name in here. You can set in here branch. I've set the host name and in here because if you not configure the host name, maybe you will get confused because you don't know which are the router branch or the router center. And next I will set the IP dynamic in here. First, IP static in the router branch. First, you can turn off the router branch DHCP client, disable numbers 0. You can see it in here. The DHCP client now is disabled. Then I will add an IP. I will using this IP. If you see in here, the IP for the router center is 100, and for the branch I will set into 101. Don't forget the prefix, and the interface is Ethernet 1. Then you can click enter, and I will set the IP route gateway in the router branch. At gateway, the IP is the IP pnet not in the VMware. And next I will configure the DNS server. And after that I will try to ping to the internet. And as you can see, it is successful. And if I try to ping to the domain of google.com, it is also successful. And next I will open the router in the Winbox. I will connect to the first router, and then you can go to new Winbox and change the IP with the IP of router branch. And I will configure the LIP tunnel in the router center and the router branch. You can go to the Winbox of router center, and then you can go to interface, then you can click add. Click add, and then there is LIP tunnel, then click it. And for the name you can set it for anything you want. I will set it LIP to branch. And for the remote address, you can fill it with the IP static of the router branch, which is this is the IP. And for the tunnel ID, you can change it with anything you want. I will set it into 100, and then you can click apply. And you can set the VPN tunneling in the router branch. You can go to the Winbox of router branch and then interface, and then you can click add. Click add, and then there is LIP tunnel. And for the name, I will set it into LIP to the center. And for the remote address, you can fill it with the IP static of router 1 or router center, which is this is the IP. And for the tunnel ID, you can you must set it the same like in the router branch. For the tunnel ID is 100, and you must set it in here also 100, so it can connect it. And then you can click apply, and then okay. And after that, you can try to ping from the router center to the router branch, which is ping and then the IP of router branch, and then you can click enter. And as you can see, it is successful. And I will try in the router branch, and it also successful. And next I will configure the tunneling that connects from the VPC1 connects to the VPC2. So first you can connect the VPC1 to the router center, and also VPC2 connect to the router branch. Then you can open the routing center in the Winbox, and then in here I will use the bridge menu. You can open the bridge, and then you can click it add, and for the bridge I will use bridge LIP, and then you can click apply. And then in the port you can click add, and for the interface you can change it with Ethernet 2 that connects to the client, and you can click apply. And then you can also click it again and change the interface to the LIP2 branch, and then you can click apply. And you can do the same thing in the router branch. You can go to bridge, and then you can click add, and in the bridge you can set it with anything you want, LIP, then you can click apply. And in the port also you can configure it. The interface is Ethernet 2 that connects to the client, and then OK, and click add again, and the interface is LIP to center, and you can click apply. And now you can try to ping from the VPC1 to VPC2. You can open the terminal in here, and I will set the IP for the VPC1, and it must have the same network IP with the VPC2. And I will set the IP using IP address version 3. I will use this IP, and you can ignore the gateway because I will configure it later, and you can click enter. In the VPC2 also can configure the IP address in the VPC2, and it must have the same network in the with the VPC1, which is in here 1.x, and also in here 1.x, and you can click enter. Next you can try to ping to the VPC1. You can ping, and then IP of VPC1, which is this is the IP, and as you can see VPC2 can connect to the VPC1, and I will try from the VPC1 to connect to the VPC2, and as you can see it is also successful. But if you try to ping to the internet from the client or VPC1 and VPC2, it cannot ping to the internet. So to configure it, you can go to the Winbox, and then but first you must know that for the LIP tunnel, to build the LIP tunnel, the branch office and the head office must be connected to the internet. So I will configure the client to connect to the internet. You can go to IP, and then addresses. You can click add, and I will add an IP gateway, and the IP gateway must have the same network with the IP of VPC1 and VPC2, and I will configure it in the router center first, and I will configure it with this IP. So for the gateway of router center is using this IP, and for the interface is using the branch. The bridge. Then you can click apply, and then OK. And also you can configure it in the router branch. Can close it in here. Can go to IP and then addresses, and I will fill it with the IP network that have the same network with the router center, VPC1 and VPC2. And I will set this IP in this IP, and the interface is using the bridge. Then you can click apply. And next I will configure the NAT firewall. Then you can go to IP, and then firewall NAT, and you can go to NAT and then click add. For the chain is using the source NAT, and for the out interface is Ether1, and the action is masquerade. And you can click apply. And you can also configure it in the router branch. You can go to IP and then firewall, and then you can click add. In the NAT you can click add. The out interface is using the Ethernet one. The action is masquerade, and you can click apply. And now you can set the IP in the VPC1, the IP gateway. I will set it, but first you must make sure that from VPC1 can ping to the IP gateway of router center. And as you can see, it is successful. Next I will configure the IP gateway. After this you can add the IP gateway, which is this is the IP, and then click enter, and you can add IP DNS for the VPC1, so the VPC1 can ping to the internet using domain IP DNS, and then I will this, and you can see it in with show IP. And as you can see, is now has been configured, and you can ping to the internet now. As you can see, the VPC1 is successful, and I will try to ping to the domain, and as you can see, it is also successful. And I will try in the VPC2. I will set the IP in here, and then I will set the IP gateway, and I will set the IP DNS so the VPC2 can ping to the internet using domain. And now you can see it show IP, and enter. As you can see, it now has been configured, and you must try to ping to the gateway in the router branch from the VPC2, which is this is the IP of the gateway in the router branch. And as you can see, it is successful. Now you can try to ping to the internet, and it is also successful. And I will try to ping via domain, and it also successful. So the configuration LIP tunneling is successful. And next is point-to-point protocol, or PPP, is used to establish a tunnel direct connection between two different locations over the internet. PPP can provide connection, authentication, encryption, and compression. Router OS support various PPP tunnel such as PPP-oe, SSTP, AutoTP, and PPTP, etc. And next I will configure about PPTP, but before I configure the PPTP protocol, I will explain about PPTP. So PPTP, or point-to-point tunneling protocol, is one of the tunnel that provides encryption over IP, and it is widely used tunnel because almost all OS support PPTP client and can be used to create a secure connection between local networks via the internet. And router OS supports PPTP client and PPTP server. So I will configure the PPTP server and the PPTP client, and PPTP use TCP port 1723 and IP protocol 47 GRE, or generic routing encapsulation, and NAT helpers are used to support PPTP in NAT networks. And I will configure about PPTP in my topology, which is this, and I will set the router center as the PPTP server, and for the router branch I will set it as the PPTP client. And you can open your router in the Winbox. So first I will add an IP that connects to the client, which is VPC1 and VPC2, and I will configure it in the router center first. You can go to IP and then addresses, then click add, and then I will add an IP like this, and don't forget the interface, change it into the Ethernet 2, and after that you can click apply and OK. And also I will configure it in the router branch. You can go to IP and then addresses, and you can click add. And for the router branch I will use the different networks IP. I will use this IP, and the interface is using Ethernet 2, and then you can click apply and OK. And next I will set the DHCP server, so the VPC can get an IP automatically. So you can go to IP and then DHCP server, then you can click DHCP setup, and for the DHCP server interface is the Ethernet that connects to the client. Then you can click next, and then you can configure it too in the router branch. Go to IP and then DHCP server, DHCP setup, the Ethernet too. And after that you can ask an IP in the VPC1 and VPC2. You can type IP DHCP, and in the VPC2 IP DHCP. And as you can see, the VPC1 is get an IP, which is this IP, and it is the gateway. And also in the VPC2 is also get an IP, and it is the gateway. And next I will configure the PPTP server in the router center. So first I will you can open the PPP, and then you can go to interface. There is PPTP server. You can click it and click it enable, then apply. So by default now the PPTP server is enable or turn on. And if you want to set the login menu, or if PPTP client wants to connect to the router center, it must be login. You can go to secret, and then you can click add, and then for the name I will use PPTP lagi, and for the service is using PPTP because I want to configure the PPTP server. And for the password is for anything you want. And for the local address is the IP tunnel for the router center. So if you connect to the router branch, the local address is the IP tunnel that router center it will get. So for example, I will use this IP So if it's connected, the router center will get this IP, and for the remote address, I will use this IP. So if the router branch is connected to the router center, it will use this IP. Then you can click apply, and after that you can configure it in the router branch. You can go to PPP, and then after that you can click the interface, and then you can click add, and then there is PPTP client, and click it, and you can set in here by default. You just focus in the dial out. So for the connect to, you must fill it with the IP static of the router center, which is this is the IP that I've been set before. And for the user is in the router center that you've configured, which is this is the name. I will type it in here, pptp agi, and the password is before 123, so I will fill it in here. Then after that, for the profile is in here default, so you can change it in here default, and after that you can click apply. And after it look like this, it will says error or running. If there's not give some information error, maybe there is some mistake, and you can try to ping to the router branch from the router center. I will type ping and then IP of VPC, sorry, the router branch, which is this IP, and as you can see it is successful. And of course the router branch is also successful if ping to the center. But if you try to ping to the VPC2 from the router center, it will not be connected. And I will try in here. This is the IP of VPC2, and I will try to ping in here. And as you can see, it is timeout or not connected, because in the routing table it's not have been set. You can go to IP and then routes, IP routes, and as you can see there is no information that connects to the client of VPC2 in here. So to configure it, you must add an routing static. You can click add, and for the destination address is the IP network of client 2, VPC2, which is this is the IP. And for the gateway is using this IP or the IP tunnel that connects to the router branch. I will fill it in here, and then you can click apply, and it must be as or active static. Now I will configure it in the router branch, and go to IP and then routes, then you can click add, and in here the destination is the from the router branch, one that connects to the VPC1 in the router center, which is this is the IP network, and the gateway is using the IP tunnel of of router center, which is this. We'll fill it in here, then you can click apply. And now you can try to ping from the VPC to the VPC1 to VPC2. I will try to ping it. and as you can see it is successful. And I will try in the VPC2, ping in the IP of the VPC1, which is this IP, and as you can see it is also successful. And because I have been set the IP firewall, oh yeah, in here you can change it in the general. For the out interface is using the PPTP lagi. Wait. Oh yeah, you don't need to configure it again the NAT role. So for the chain is source NAT and the out interface is Ethernet 1 and the action is masquerade. And also in the router branch is same like that. You can see it in here. Sorry. Firewall, the NAT, and also in here is the same, so that the configuration of PPTP is now successful. And next I will explain and practice about L2TP. So L2TP is one of the VPN service available on MikroTik is L2TP, layer 2 tunneling protocol, where L2TP is the development of PPTP plus L2F. And the network security protocol and encryption used for authentication are the same as PPTP. However, to communicate L2TP using UDP port 1701, usually for better security, L2TP is combined with IP security, become L2TP IP security. So the concept of L2TP plus IP security is connection reliability can be improved by combining L2TP with security protocols, such as IP security, creating an L2TP IP security solution. And next I will do the case study, which is L2TP plus IP security configuration. So you can open your topology. I will set for the router center as the server, and for the router branch I will set it as the client. It is still the same like the PPTP, but the difference is just the protocol. And you can open the router in the Winbox, and I will set the router center L2TP server. So you can go to PPP and then there's interface, and then you can click L2TP server and you can click it enable. And because I want using the IP security, you can use IP security, yes. And for the IP security I will use secret, and then you can click apply and okay. And next I will configure the secrets. So if the router branch wants to connect to the router center, it must login into the username and the password. So the name I will using L2TP lagi, and the password is 123, and the service is L2TP. And for the profile I will use default, and the local address you can set it with the anything you want, but this is the IP that router center will get if it's connected to the router branch. We're using this IP, and for the router center I will use this IP, and then you can click apply. So the local address is the IP that router center will get if it's connected to the client, and for the remote address is the IP that the IP client that will get if it's connected to the router center. And next I will configure it in L2TP client in the router branch. You can open PPP, PPP, and then in here you can click add, and then there is L2TP client, and for the general you can fill it by default, and in the dialog is connected to the IP static of the router 1, which is this is the IP that I've been configured. For the user is L2TP AGI because I configure this user in the router center. The password is this, and the profile is default, and in here there is IP security. You can click it, use IP security. For the IP security in here I've been set secret, and then you can click apply, and it should show information are running. Wait, maybe there is some problem. And if I try to ping to the now it have been configured, there is error or running. And if you try to ping from the router center to the router branch, it must be successful, and as you can see it is successful. And also from the router branch it is also successful, so the configuration of L2TP server is successful. And I will configure the roles that connects VPC1 and VPC2, to connect VPC1 and VPC2. If you try to ping to the VPC2, it's not connected or timeout because I've not set the routing table. So to configure it, you can go to IP, and then there is routes, then you can click add, and the destination is IP network of client 2, which is this is the IP, and for the gateway is using this IP, the IP tunnel of the router branch, and then you can click apply, and it should AS or active static, and you can configure it in the router branch to IP and then routes, then add. For the destination is IP network of the client 1, or the client of router the router center, and the gateway is using the IP tunnel of router 1, and then you can click apply, and it should AS. And if you try to ping again to the VPC2, and it should be successful. Now we'll try in here. Now so it is successful. And if I try to ping to the Google, it must be successful because I've been set the the firewall NAT rules, which is this. In the general chain is source NAT, the out interface is Ethernet 1, and the action is masquerade. So the configuration of L2TP is successful. And next is PPPoE. So in the PPPoE, I will explain and practice about it. So PPPoE is point-to-point protocol over Ethernet, is a type of layer 2 tunnel protocol used to control access to the network. This one type of tunnel protocol that widely used in ESP because it can easily manage multiple clients without using a public IP, and it provides authentication, encryption, and compression. And PPPoE only works on one network, one broadcast domain. So I will configure the PPPoE in a new topology. So in the new topology, you can add a new topology, then you can add two router, one network, and two client, which is I will use the VPC. And for the ESP or network, I will use the CloudNet. and you can connect the ESP to the router 1, and you can click save. Then you can open it, and then you can log in into the MikroTik 1, and I will set the IP to the static, so the IP will not get changed, or it will be static. I will turn off the DHCP client first. Disable Windows 0, and you can see it in here, IP DHCP client print, and now it is disabled. And then I will add a new IP. I will use this IP. Wait, I will use this IP and forget the prefix, and you can click enter. Oh yeah, Ethernet 1, because it's connected to the internet using interface Ethernet 1. And I will set the gateway using IP and then route add gateway, and then the IP pnet NAT. You can see it in the VMware. Is in here. The IP of my pnet NAT is this. Then you can click enter, and I will set the IP DNS. Set server, and then I will fill it with the IP of Google. Then you can try to ping to the internet using IP Google. As you can see, it is successful. And I will try using domain, which is this. And as you can see, it is also successful. And next, I will configure the PPOE protocol. So for the MikroTik 1, I will set it as the ESP, and for the MikroTik 2, I will set it as the client. So first you can connect from the MikroTik 1 to the router 2, but first I will configure the hostname, so you can see the difference. I will change it into ESP, then click save. And for this is router client, and you can click save. And in here I will set the identity using system identity set name. I will use it ESP. As you can see, it now it has been set, and you can close in here, and you can open it again. And as you can see, it is now has been set. And for the MikroTik 2, I will configure it with I must log in first using user is admin and the password is blank, and then Control C, and then I will set the host name using system identity set name. I will use it router client, and as you can see, it now have been set. I will close it in here and then open it again, and as you can see, it now is have been set. And as you can see, if you try to see the address in here, there is no IP address because I have not set the PPPoE protocol. But first you can connect the VPC1 to the router client, and after that I will configure the PPPoE protocol in the Winbox. So first you can go to the Winbox, and then you can log in into the first router or the ESP router, then connect. Oh yeah, and I will open the router client using Roman because it is connected using a cable, but in the real life, if the ESP connects to the client, usually using fiber optic, so you can imagine that it is connected by fiber optic. And in the router client, I will set the Roman tools, so I can open the router client via Roman. You can type tools Roman set enable, yes, then you can see it in here to print. It is now enable, and also I will configure it in the ESP using tool and then Roman set enable, yes, and now it is now connected, and you can wait, you can click new inbox and then connect to Roman, and it will show in here. As you can see, there is router client, and you can click it and connect. And after that, I will set the PPOE protocol. For the ESP, I will set it into PPPoE server, and for the router client, I will set it into PPPoE client. So to configure it, you can go to PPP, and then there is PPPoE server, and click it, and you can click add. And for the service name, I will change it into PPPoE Git, and the interface is using the Ethernet 2 that connects to the client, and then the rest is default, and then you can click apply. Oh yeah, in the ESP I will set the firewall NAT, so the IP in the router client can ping to the internet, can go to IP and then firewall, and you can click add. For the for the general is source NAT, and the load interface is Ethernet 1. The action is mask query, and then you can click apply. And after that, you can continue the PPOE server setting. And then I will configure the secret. So if the router client wants to connect to the ESP, it must login with using username and the password. So for the name, I will use PPPoE Agi, and for the password is I will set it just like this. The service is PPPoE, and the rest is default. And for the local address is the IP that ESP will get if it's connected to the client, and I will use maybe this IP, and don't forget the prefix, and for the client I will use this IP. So for the router client, if it's connected to the ESP, it will connect using this IP, and you can click apply and then OK, and then you can configure the PPPoE client. You can go to PPP, and then you can click in here add, and there is PPPoE client, and in here you can set it by default. The service is, you can fill blank. The username is PPPoE Agi, and the password is 123, and make sure that the add default route and the use per DNS is turned on, so the router client will get the IP DNS and the default route by dynamic from the router ISP. And after that, maybe you can click apply, and then you can try to ping to the internet, to the ESP or internet. I will try to ping to the ESP first using this IP, and as you can see it is successful. And if I try to ping to the internet, must be successful. Oh yeah, it is successful. And I will try using domain. It is also successful. And next I will configure in the client of router client, which is VPC2 and VPC1. I will configure it so they can connect to the internet. So you can open the router client, and I will use the bridge tool because I want that the VPC1 and VPC2 using the same network, which is there is Ethernet 2 and Ethernet 3. Then open the router client, then bridge, and then add. For the name I will use bridge PPPoE, then you can click apply. Okay, for the port is I will using the Ethernet 2 for the VPC1, and then Ethernet 3 for VPC2, and okay. And after that I will do the address, and then you can click add. In the address I will use this IP for the gateway, then the Ethernet is using the bridge PPPoE, then you can click apply and okay. And I will set the IP DHCP server, so the client in the router client, which is VPC1 and VPC2, can automatically get the IP. You can click DHCP setup IP, and then there is DHCP server and DHCP setup. And for the interface, you must choose the bridge PPPoE, and then you can click next until it's done like this. And I will configure the IP NAT firewall, so the client can access the internet. You can go to IP and then firewall, and then you can open NAT and then add. And in the general, the chain is source NAT, and the out interface is using the PPPoE out, which is that connects to the I will see it in here, which is this that connects to the ESP. Because if you choose the Ethernet one, it is not connected to the internet. Yang the interface that connect to the internet is using the PPPoE out, and then you can click in here and apply. And the action is using the mouse squared, and then you can click apply. Okay, and you can try ping to the Google from the VPC1. But first I will request the IP DHCP, and also in the VPC2. And now I will try to ping to the internet. It must be successful. Oh yeah, as you can see, it is successful. And I will try using domain, which is google.com. It is also successful. Now we'll try in the VPC2, and it is successful. I will try using domain, and it is also successful. So the configuration of PPPoE is successful, and maybe I will try to set the, sorry, I forget the name, in here, sorry, oh yeah, I will set the bandwidth, so the for the VPC1 or VPC2 it will get the specific bandwidth, but maybe I cannot give you the interface that shows how it works. I just can configure it, and in here, because in here you can open it, and in here the profile is default. You can go to in here profile in the PPP and then profile. Because the interface is using the default, you can open it default, and in here you can change it default, and then you can go to the limits, and then there is red limit. You can type it whatever you want for the setting the bandwidth. If for example I'm using this 5M, that means for the client it will get the 5 Mbps. So that is for the configuration of the bandwidth. Sorry, I can show the implementation in the virtual machine because it's not supported. So the configuration of PPPoE and then the bandwidth test is successful. So that is my presentation. Sorry if there are any mistake or misunderstanding. See you next time, guys. Bye bye.